Well, it depends on what day. Certain days is good and some days is bad. But the thing is, it's part of football. It's part of growing up. We have good days and bad days. But you do see potential, and then it's like a roller coaster. It'll start, you're like, oh man, we're gonna have a great one. Then it'll come down, then it goes back up. And the biggest thing is we're trying to work to be consistent, and that's the most important thing. I feel good that we are, but it's part of camp. It's part of growing up, and we got some young guys over there. And it's one thing I've learned. Reggie White said this a long time ago when I met him, that I had a young defensive line when I was coaching at the University of Arkansas, and when Reggie White came and spoke with us, and the first thing I said, how do you get these guys to play a little bit older? He said, you got to tell them they're older. You got to say, act like you're older, think like you're older, and not play like you're a freshman. And so that's one thing I've never forgotten, and that's part of it, getting them to think older, play older, and mature, and grow up faster.
How do you do that?
Keep talking about it. Keep training them, and keep building confidence. It's easy to walk out there and beat them down. But you got when they do something well, we have to praise them and let them know. When they do something bad, we own them. But you got to keep building them up.
How do you compare the experience of coaching these guys versus last year when you have a bunch of seniors that have been in here and played? How do you compare those two experiences?
Oh, it's always those guys had been they been through the SEC, and it was they know about the league. These guys here, a few of them have played, and a lot of them have not. But it's up to me to get them ready, and us as coaches to keep letting them know, hey, this is a very tough league, and they know that. They wouldn't be here if they didn't know that. So I feel like we just got to keep working.
Well, there is some inexperience. Do you like the talent level of your group?
Yes, I love the talent level. What we got is what we got, and it's up to me and the defensive coaches to keep pulling the best out of them and keep working. And hopefully while we're in camp, we keep putting them in different situations so that they will be ready for the season.
Do you feel like your demeanor's changed? Do you feel like your demeanor's kind of changed with this group? I mean, a year ago you could kind of lean a little harder on Shai and Alexis and those guys because they had been through the wars, and this year you're kind of having to kind of both praise and criticize.
Well, the demeanor. Well, I think my deal is you have to know. You got to know when to push and pull, and also be demanding, but also knowing, hey, it's part of the process of growing up. And the next day they come back, they'll fight, and then all of a sudden the wheel will come off. Then we put the wheel on, let's go again. And that's the incitement. That's part of coaching. It's no different than you guys. Hey, you raising a family, you know what's going on. Some days the car going right, and every day the wheel get a little wiggly. Hey, we got to straighten it up, tighten up the lug nuts, and let's go.
With young guys, do you feel like you're having to coach effort, or is it more these guys, you like that mentality, and it's more about X's and O's and understanding?
I think we're coaching X's and O's, okay? And then with the X and O's, all right, what comes a little bit, you're trying to figure things out, and you're not playing as fast as you can because you're thinking. And I think as the more and more they become comfortable learning the defense, we're going to become faster and faster and faster. It's like first time you're driving, you better go slow.
Is pad level one of the things you have to work with young guys?
Well, pad level, getting the call, understand the situations we're in, the personnel groupings, and what they're doing offensively, and understand what we're doing defensively. Are we? Is it first downs? Is it second downs? Is it third and long? Understanding the situations where we're all on the field, and so it's part of learning how to play.
Coach Pruitt described the defensive line's progress as sort of driving with their eyes closed.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that analogy or that description of the experience of trying to do what they're doing?
Well, that's what he thinks, and we have to go with that, man. I mean, that's not me. I mean, that's what he said. That's what it is. But my deal is, my job is to keep working with him, keep building confidence, and putting a product out there that we're all satisfied with. But the biggest thing is that we got to keep working with them, keep improving them. But I'm always going to say, you got to put confidence in them. To play this game, you got to have a lot of confidence. You're going to get beat up and bruised when you're playing up front. And now, can you play tough? Can you play when you're hurt? Can you the mental toughness and the physical toughness of this game?
How would you rate their physicality thus far?
Well, I mean, physicality, it depends on what part of the practice we're in, and we'll start, like I said, we start off fast, and then we'll lose it, and then we'll come back. And the deal is, we're trying to fight to get a whole consistent day of just being physical and being consistent throughout the whole day.
Did you get a sense of urgency with the group when Emmett went down, and kind of some guys maybe saying, "Hey, I didn't know if I was going to be counted on, but now there's an opportunity."
Well, I think when Emmett went down, everybody was upset. Emmett is a leader for us, and that was a setback, but it's part of football. And Emmett has also been a foundation for us in there, and he's in the room still. So I think with him still in the room, it helps him also. He coaches up the young guys. Hey, when you see this and see that, but I think we're still looking for leadership on this defense, front to the back end. And someone's going to step up and someone's going to take control. But is there a sense of urgency? Yes.
Have you been able to identify pass rushers among your group?
I think, pass rushers have been the guy that's probably stood out that we think has the potential has been Bumpus. Bumpus is really has improved, and he's improved just run and passes, getting better as a football player. But he's really stood out to us a lot.
Tracy, how's Aubrey kind of handled his situation? Obviously, he's waiting to know if he's going to play or not. Is it hampered him all in practice, or is he just?
Aubrey's practicing. Aubrey is doing his part and working hard and doing a good job at it.
How does it play into the challenge, though, preparing for a season when you're this late in the camp, not knowing whether you're going to have him, whether you're not going to have him?
You need to take that question up to compliance.
Coach, I know you guys teach concepts, but how valuable is it to have guys that are position versatile, whether it's end tackle for your defense?
Well, the biggest thing is up front with all the guys, we train them all in multiple positions. So we don't sit there and just, hey, Darrell Middleton, he's been playing at defensive end. He's also played 3 technique tackle. So we worked with him there also. So everybody plays everything.
What have you seen from Middleton? He's a kid that played some wide receiver in high school, and now he's 6'7", 315.
The thing about Darrell Middleton, he cares, he wants to be good, he's working to be good. Biggest thing is we play multiple defenses here. And there's a lot of words to it, a lot of concepts to it, and every day he gets a little bit better, a little bit more comfortable learning. And yesterday he had a really good day. Now it's a matter, can we put a back-to-back day? That's the biggest thing. We have a good day here, but let's have it back-to-back, back-to-back. The more and more we can get that, the better we're going to be.
What about Greg? He's a guy that's probably been here longer than a lot of these guys since he was enrolling last year. What do you kind of see from him this month?
Well, Greg has improved, and we're getting more effort out of Greg. And the deal is, one day is a really good day, but we need back-to-back days. We can get back-to-back and take one day at a time, but get back-to-back consistency of mental toughness, being physical, playing with the technique that we're asking, and understanding where we are in personnel groupings, on what they're doing offensively and what we're doing defensively.
You said Bumpus caught your attention as a pass rusher. Anybody who's kind of stood out in terms of run stuffing ability?
Well, I thought, bigger thing, Greg has done well playing the nose as a run stopper, but and there's others that are making progress, but Greg has stood out well.
What about Latrell has impressed you the most, would you say, this offseason?
Well, I just think he's one, his body has changed. Bump, has, he was a tight end. He's kind of been all over this team. And so for now, he's at the defensive line. He's playing defensive. It's been really good to have him there. And he seems to enjoy it. And that's what he enjoys practice. He enjoys getting better. So that's been a plus for me.
How difficult is it to have someone who goes back and forth in positions like that? Do you feel he's really embraced the defensive side of the ball?
Oh, yeah, he's embraced it. I love him in the room. He's a great personality, does well in school, and he's caught on. And he wants to be good. So that's been really good.
What did you say out of Elijah?
Would you talk a little bit about
Kamar's at
Terry?
Vandy.
Just how proud you were of what he did.
Well, I'm a dad. I'm here to, as a dad, we're all proud. We want our kids to do what's right and to be special. But I'm more concerned about doing what's right, having class about it, getting your education, and just doing the right things and having some class. And that's what's important to me. And understanding it's a big world, but you got to also give back to help others. And that's what we talk about.
What are you saying out of
How would you
Elijah?
assess where Elijah is right now?
Elijah, I think Elijah is he's learning. His weight's coming down. Again, he shows promise, and then I think a lot of times that he's a high school kid. Then he shows promise, and he turns into a high school kid. And so, but I like Elijah. Elijah's a smart kid. He does well. He does well in school. So I feel like we just have to keep working with him and keep working on getting his weight down.
What's the best weight you'd want?
Last question. We got Coach Mickey right here.
We good? Hey.